Let's talk about the water improvement project. It's very near completion. We had a great meeting with Farragut State Park, who has been wonderful to us and wonderful to the district. As you may or may not know, we had to use an intertie connection between Farragut's water tank and our water tank so that we could drain our tank here in Bayview, resurface the interior, and all that time we ran off the Farragut tank, and it was a lifesaver. And we amazingly didn't have water outages. And while we did have a little lower pressure at times, for the most part, everything went smoothly on our end and on their end. Mark and I had a meeting with Liz Palfini at the park. She was absolutely happy as a clam that they could do that for us, reiterated that we are one community and that we're locked together. And so we are working on some ways that we can maybe do something good for the park in return, because we ran their pump nonstop for months on end. And so we're looking at options, but we're waiting to hear back. We did a great upgrade at the Drillmore Booster Station. So now there is better water pressure up there. One of the biggest things that we were frustrated about and the neighbors around the Drillmore station was the landscaping, which really just looked terrible, was not at all what it was intended to be. And we'll have some fun before and after pictures. We installed new safe entry stairs and a new handicap ramp at the district office. So if you have to go in there, you no longer have to fear for your life and fall through the staircase. And believe me, there was a time where you might have. So after a few months of having crime scene tape wrapped around it, you can enter safely. We upgraded our SCADA system, which really lets us monitor remotely our sewer system. And we also upgraded the sand filtration beds that are rehabilitated with functioning valves. And I'd like to ask Bob Hansen to give you like a 2-minute primer on why both the SCADA system and those sand filtration beds are so important.
Yeah, as you're probably aware, we have a wastewater land application site up in the woods, which is, in my opinion, one of the best ways you can go. It helps protect against forest fires, it treats the wastewater, and it helps the forest grow. The flow sand filters are part of the treatment process that we go through to filter the wastewater before we irrigate out of the forest. The filtration process helps to take out some of the contaminants. And then after that, we add chlorine, and the chlorine contact basin is provided so that we can have enough time for that chlorine to kill any bacteria that's left in the system. And so all of these components kind of work together to create a wastewater that's Class C, which is really great to put out in the forest. And the other benefit from getting them out in the forest like that, the trees love the nitrogen and phosphorus and stuff that are in them, and we don't have to put that stuff in the lake, and it keeps that stuff out of the lake. So everything that's been going on has been part of it, from my point of view, has been exciting and really beneficial to both the community, the tourist industry, and the forest itself. So that's why we're doing it.
Okay, Bob.
Sure.
A couple other things that we didn't put on the list, but I realized should have, is that we have our every 3-year water testing for copper and lead. The Bayview system once again came out with stellar, no problem reviews. So that's a huge relief. But I think what's more fun is to look at some before and after pictures. So let's do that. So here's the water tank, and you can see how it was really falling apart on the outside and looking pretty grim. Now it's this nice sort of gray blue on the outside, secure and good for the future. But the next picture is really much more telling. When you get inside the tank, what does the tank look like? And thinking about our drinking water coming out of this is kind of a frightening thought. So here's one view of what the tank looks like from when you're down on the floor and looking up. But the next picture is really the one that will blow your mind. So we went from that being the bottom of the inside of the tank to what I think looks kind of like a shiny new ceramic pan that I want to cook on as the inside of the tank now. So we have just a few really minor little things that are getting finished up on that rehabilitation project. But it's very exciting to be back online and to have our own good drinking water and know that it's good for us.
Madam Chairman, I could say, even though this looks a little scary, obviously all of our samples passed, and we actually did send in divers to clean it right before doing any of these projects. So this was clean, but also now is rehabbed. So didn't want you to be scared or anything.
Excellent point. Too bad we didn't have pictures of the divers in it. That would have been.
We actually on our website have the video of them going in and looking out with their cameras. So you guys can always see that. And also the inspection of the water line that runs in the lake there and then over to Cape Horn. We have some video on there. So.
Okay. Looking at the Dromore changes, there used to be a lovely rock wall there, and the people who lived nearby were very dismayed that it looked like that at the end of the project. And they were also very sad that some pine trees were planted and their lilacs were taken away. And part of the issue was there were certain regulations about what could and couldn't go in there. And so after it was all finished, we managed to do a little rehabilitation on Dromore. So the rock wall and all the driveway is fixed again. There is grass planted in that dirt. I will say I went up there yesterday to take these pictures, hoping for some sun. And the deer and geese are having their way with that newly planted grass. So there are many hoof prints and goose prints in the dirt. We will see if we have to do a little overseed again in the spring. But we also then, this was the place where you could see the addresses going up the hill. So
Yeah, so, and these ones were the trees that were gonna grow large and proud and block off all kinds of stuff, not some of the prettiest, so those were the ones that we did remove. It's not fair because it's bright and sunny in this picture with some greenery, while the other one, yeah, but those are lilac bushes that'll grow up and some hedges.
Yep, so the neighbors seem extremely pleased and we're happy that it looks back to where it should. Go ahead and show the new stairs. If you haven't been there,
Yeah.
Go hop up and down on them.
Yeah,
They're great.
I think I'd used its life expectancy with running timber locks all along here as long as I could until the wood just started to rot away. So I was like, well, timber locks aren't helping much.
So as you can see, they will be non-rotting metal tread on both the ramp and the stairs. Okay, we can whip through these. So I do want to officially call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call, please.
Mark Lewis.
John Bloom.
Dan Tyndall.
Gianna Hoffmeister. All right, well, the first action item is to adopt the fiscal year budget.
Oh, no, we need to open. So,
Wait.
and then I'll do the budget. Yeah, we have to open the public hearing. And,
That's what-
no, we opened the meeting and then we'll open the public hearing and then I'll talk about the budget.
Seconds now, but my apologies that I haven't memorized all the new rules. So now do we need another roll call to officially open the public hearing? All right, call for another roll call.
Mark Lewis.
Sean Lewin.
Dan Tyndall.
Gianna Hoffmeister.
All right. So, for this year's budget,